Welcome to the Dynasty Chat, the ultimate podcast for NFL Dynasty football, covering the latest news, player analysis, and trade strategies to help dominate Dynasty leagues. League mates, fellow Dynasty managers, and members of the fantasy football community will join in to debate, break down moves, and share their expertise. And let's be real, there's nothing better than staying one step ahead of the competition. This show is here to help you do exactly that. Follow us, and let's get to it.
You remember one thing this you better hear. You want to talk all this old school bullshit about the rules? Well, here's a rule you might remember. I'm the motherfucking one who calls the shots.
About how things have gone in the league so far, because, you know, we met on Facebook or whatever, so I don't know you personally, but how do you feel about how things are going so far?
In the league?
Yeah, sure.
Good. Like, I feel like it's active, which I like. I'm in a baseball dynasty league. I feel like it's not as active so far as this football league.
Yeah, I hate that. That's one of the things I strive for, is to be active and to try to, like, do stuff to make people active and, like, you know, just fucking talk some shit and, like, you know, get people excited about this shit, you know?
Well, even for a dynasty, like, you should still be, like, doing things to build your team for next year.
Correct. Yeah. Some of these boys, you got to train them because, you know, they play Dynasty like it's redraft.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like,
so,
Chris McCaffrey in the first round.
Yeah, fucking insane. I spoke to Moses, my boy Moses, in the league about it just now. We had like a 10-minute conversation about that shit. Like, dude, this is Dynasty, guys.
Yeah, like, I was thinking, I was thinking about McCaffrey, but he fell to the third or something.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You take the risk in Dynasty, the more likely the guy is to, you know, miss games, you might take a chance as he drops, but he went in the second round. Damn.
Yeah, it was just right after wraparound, so honestly, I considered the first, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of a backstory behind that, actually. There's a little bit of context. I'll give it to you before we start it. Gray Razor, the guy who drafted Christian McCaffrey, he's actually in our year 3 Dynasty League as well. And he actually won that league twice already. All right? So he's kind of playing with house money, like just doing whatever. Like, he's on some bullshit, because I know he wouldn't normally do that, because that's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, fucking hilarious.
Me as a Niner fan, I'm a Niner fan, so I was like, damn, it's early for a Dynasty.
Nah, he's already mopped us up twice, so he's like, you know, I think he's kind of just like, you know, taking a shot.
Play with house money in this one.
Fucking bastard. I hate this guy. Anyway, so like I was telling Moses, or anybody who I talk to, if I ever call you for a video, I'm not here to pump anybody for information. I don't want anyone to talk about what they intend to do, unless you want to. And you can even come up here and lie. If you want to come here and lie about a trade somebody sent you or something somebody said to you, you could say whatever. I don't care. All right? So you don't necessarily have to be all truthful. Let me say what I really think. You could lie. If you want to come on here and try to step on somebody's trade value, do it.
Okay.
All right?
I got you. Okay.
So, with that said, I don't want you to lie about this part. Tell me how you feel about your draft and your first couple of picks. You are Bill Dozer.
Yeah.
You went with Malik Neighbors in the first. You went and got Josh Allen at the 2-5. You then came back around for Kenneth Walker. You came back around for Rashee Rice. Worthy is the one who got suspended, right? Am I got this, or I got this backwards?
No, Worthy is the Rice got suspended.
Holy shit. Oh no, then I take back everything I said. That was a bad pick. You should be pissing yourself.
Yeah, I knew the suspension, like I said, I knew the suspension was coming. So, like I said, I was hoping for a 3-game suspension. And then we got 6 games. I was like,
man, damn, dude, that's tough.
But then I'm like, whatever. Like, I went into it thinking Dynasty. Like, I'm not too worried about the suspension for this year. You know? Down the road, I feel like him and Mahomes have a good connection.
Oh man, I had it backwards. I don't know if these past couple weeks I've had these two guys mixed up in my head. And you know what? If you look on media, they kind of look alike a little bit. If you notice that.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
You know, so when I'm doing my videos or whatever, I'm trying to put stuff together. I'm like, I gotta remind myself which one is Xavier Worthy and which one is Rashee Rice every single time. Damn.
But yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I like his connection with Mahomes, and me personally, I feel like Worthy is fast and he doesn't have a great route tree. But we'll see.
All right. So with that said, how do you feel about your draft overall? Was there someone who you really wanted that you couldn't get, or tell me a little bit about the Josh Allen grab in the second round?
So that's funny. I was doing something and I got distracted, and next thing you know, I was on the clock and I had him and a few other people queued up. I'm trying to look at my rankings, analyze which is the best value, and I knew quarterbacks' points are a lot higher than a normal league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And time was running down, and I was really like, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go safe. Josh Allen. My name is Josh Allen.
Safe. And yes.
Right after I picked him, I think 3 quarterbacks went in the next round, like in the next 2 rounds, or quite big quarterbacks went. So
exactly.
I got ahead of the run.
Yeah, you might have scared the guys into thinking that a run was coming, because the next guy off the board, two picks after you, was Jackson, and then Hurts mysteriously. I'm not crazy about that pick at 209, but okay. All right.
Which pick?
So after you picked Josh Allen at the 2.5, Lamar Jackson went at the 2.7, and then Jalen Hurts went after Drake London to the Jahmyr Gibbs owner at the 2.9.
Yeah, I thought Daniels would have went next.
Yeah. Everybody in America thought Daniels would go next. Like, what the fuck? Yo, what are these guys doing? Like, it doesn't make sense from a scoring perspective, and it doesn't make sense from a dynasty perspective. Like,
unless you're an Eagles fan, but
okay, fair enough, because we do have some homers in here, and literally, I haven't spoken to this cat yet, so I don't actually know if he's an Eagles fan. So that must be, I don't know. Let's see. Kenneth Walker in the 3rd. How are we feeling about his health this year?
Caution. I like him as my bell cow. I'm hoping he can stay healthy. I know Seattle likes to run the ball with him. He's got a good backup in Charbonnet, so I definitely know he's going to miss a few games.
For sure. That's part of the package with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I tried to get Charbonnet, but he got taken from.
I'm looking at the 6th round, and I could see how you might have thought that, right? Because let's see, you get like Rome Odunze, Travis Etienne, Scary Terry, Pacheco, DK Metcalf. At this point, you got to be thinking, oh man, I could back up my guy with his backup. Oh man, this will be good. And then here comes JR to grab him, who is actually a Seahawks fan, by the way. So that's probably why that happened.
But yeah, I was a little disappointed I didn't get his backup, but I feel like I got some other backups that have a potential. Yeah, it's actually my first football dynasty. I've been in my baseball dynasty league for 3 or 4 years. I've been trying to find a football one since last year, and it didn't happen last year.
Yeah, it's more difficult, right? Because the commitment is longer, and then you have to trust the commissioner for multiple years, and unless you know the people, it can be pretty difficult to like try to find your dynasty home, if that makes sense, right?
I totally see that.
Yeah, that's kind of why I created this. Most of these guys, just for transparency, I know, let's see, Moses, Gray Razor, 305 Breezy, Nando, Vishnu, JR, and JP Terry. I know all those guys personally. All the other guys in the league, including yourself, are either I met them online or they're friends of friends. So,
okay, so you trust the commitment.
Yes, I do trust the commitment of most of the guys, but stuff changes year to year, and there's always some turnover. So, I just try to make it fun and be open with the guys, and try to make it so that they want to come back. This is your first dynasty, a football dynasty. So, did you have like a philosophy coming into this, or about how you were going to build your team?
I wasn't against just total young guys. I don't care if I'm not top of the league. Maybe a towards the end of the draft and rebuild, but it ended up not happening. Like the guys I have selected was like, okay, I want to compete this year.
Yeah. Once you once you see what people are doing, and then you're like, oh wow, man, do I really want to be the last guy in the league? I mean, I could beat this guy, and then that kind of changes, and then, oh, this guy's a dumbass, I'm gonna take him, and then there you go.
Yeah, when you go Josh Allen and some other players, it's kind of like you kind of win now.
Yeah, I mean, now that I know kind of what your thought process is, I like to draft a little bit more. I was a little bit, I mean, it was okay regardless, because Josh Allen is going to be the number one fantasy quarterback unless it's Lamar. I mean, most likely, so. Yeah,
I got my sleepers I liked. At least I liked them, which is my two receivers I got late, which was Sutton, not late, but Sutton and Pearsall.
Yeah.
I think both of those guys are on good years.
I do like, I don't love Sutton, I mean, based on his past performance, but I do love Bo Nix this year. So by extension, I guess I kind of have to like Cortland Sutton. So I will be keeping an eye on him. And
second down 9, he's going deep to the end zone. Sutton caught, touchdown, Cortland Sutton as he beats Jack Jones.
Yeah, he's Nix's number one guy now, and I feel like he has like 2 or 3 huge games every year.
Yeah.
Like he just blows up like a 200, tutty game, like a once or twice a year.
Well, yeah, I think Bo Nix is like that guy. Actually, like I think he's that dude. I think he's gonna take a huge lead.
Actually took over.
Yeah, I like him a lot this year. I'm actually only looking at the first 7 rounds on my screen. Who else did you round out the rest of your team with? After Brian Robinson.
Yeah, Brian Robinson.
You wish in that 7-8. You're right.
The more I read, the more kind of like more insurance policy, maybe more. If McCaffrey gets hurt, obviously his value will skyrocket. A lot of people now are saying his value, while McCaffrey is healthy, isn't going to be very much.
Well, let me tell you this. I actually love the pick. I think it's an amazing value at the 7-8 because I'm one of those people that does not think Christian McCaffrey is going to stay healthy for more than 7 games. All right? So
yeah, that's the case. Then I love that too.
Yeah. I mean, either like my other Moses, he pointed out to me earlier today that even if Christian McCaffrey, like let's say because it looks like they're going to rebuild this team, right? Do you agree with that?
The Niners?
Yeah, the Niners. They're at some point they're going to have to commit to rebuilding this team.
Oh yeah. This year I think is their all last year. Players this year. So but the thing is, their schedule is so easy this year.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. What I think is gonna happen is they're gonna do well, but like despite themselves. You know what I mean? Like because their schedule is so garbage. And I think at some point when it becomes clear that they're not going to make a playoff run, that they are going to start to wind down Christian McCaffrey, and then Brian Robinson will start to come alive because I believe that this double tendonitis thing is never going to go away. And I think it's going to be something that haunts him for the rest of his career, which I don't believe is longer than 2 years, including this year. So in order to protect his health for as long as they can, I think they're going to wind him down mid-season, just depending on how things are going. And then they're going to just start plugging in Brian Robinson. That's what I think is going to happen with Christian McCaffrey. And if that happens, that's an amazing second half value for Brian Robinson in the 7th round.
And for Dynasty, Brian Robinson's on a contract year too, so next year he could be the starting running back somewhere else.
Yes, he can. Yeah, unless, McCaffrey's both of his legs could blow up and he could be the starting running back for the Niners.
Yeah. So.
I think that's likely to happen too,
Questions persist about Christian McCaffrey. He's dealing with Achilles tendonitis actually in both legs now, Scott. Both legs, not just one. That's been an ongoing recurring issue, so there remains a major question as to when McCaffrey will be back for the 49ers.
I have no faith in this guy at all. I wish fantasy media people would stop telling people to draft Christian McCaffrey. I think it's insane to tell people to do that. Crazy.
I was watching one the other day. He's like, I'm good with McCaffrey at the 5 pick. That's high.
Bro, what are you talking about? You telling me you're gonna take it? Look at our 5 pick, right? And this was Dynasty, no rookies, right? You telling me you're gonna take Saquon Barkley? You're gonna take him over Saquon Barkley? I have people ranking Christian McCaffrey over Saquon Barkley. What are you talking about?
Even as a Niners fan, I think that's a little crazy.
That's insane. I've seen this guy go on some people's draft boards in 5, at 6, at 4. I'm like, what are you? Man, it's the craziest shit I ever seen.
That's crazy. But yeah, I also got. I was looking at Kyler Murray as a backup, and he got snaked from me. So I am going Bryce Young, because at the time, I think Bryce Young was really only, in my opinion, was the only viable backup, decent looking fantasy quarterback. The rest of them didn't look too good.
I think he could have a pretty decent year. I mean, they loaded him up with young wide receivers, so if you need to put him in a spot start, like for a down week or like a bye week or something, I think Bryce Young could be okay as a streaming option.
Yeah, and then I went tight end late, K. Dotton, which is the guy I wanted late. Yeah, that was the guy I targeted, so I'm happy with that.
I kept punting on tight end, and I eventually was like getting tired and distracted, and I totally forgot to get my late sleeper guy, the kid from Jacksonville, because he was on my board.
Strange.
Yes, so I was telling myself, if I keep punting and a guy that I want comes, I'm just going to keep punting tight end. I'm going to keep punting tight end. And then I just forgot about it. And then I had to trade my second pick to get the guy that I wanted, because I do think
didn't somebody pick him up or trade from him recently?
Yeah, because he was on my board, and I figured I was probably going to use that pick to grab a rookie tight end anyway. So I figured, let me get a guy who already has a spot on a team that, even though I don't love Trevor Lawrence that much, I thought that he was pretty decent.
But then I gotta just fill my team out with Rodriguez. I just picked him up from Washington. Then Tank Bigsby.
Nice.
Jordan Palmer, Buffalo. I think he could emerge as a wide receiver Josh Allen could trust.
I don't know. I'm iffy about Josh Allen. Like, these guys, nobody has emerged over there as like a reliable downfield threat.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's so crazy. It helps.
He's got the 2 tight ends that I feel like he likes, but
what the hell happened to Kincaid last year? Like, man,
I read that he was injured a lot of last year, and I got a reporter. He was at Buffalo camp, and they were saying, "Watch out for Kincaid this year."
All right. I mean, tight end breakouts typically happen year 2 or 3. I get it, but in Dynasty, I don't know, man. Whatever. I'll punt.
But that's why I drafted Palmer. I feel like Buffalo. I don't think Coleman's really that guy, the breakout guy.
Yeah, none of those guys get my dick card, I would say. None of them.
Yeah, they signed somebody else. Can't remember. And then Jordan Palmer. I feel like he's young. He's still developing. I feel like.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. This is great news for James Cook. Instead of throwing that fucking ball, they're just gonna give it to James Cook. So I don't give a damn who they put over there, because none of them have made me say, "Oh man, this guy's gonna really take a bite out of James Cook's workload." Nope. So whatever.
And then I drafted my last pick for Shaheed.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it was my last pick, but he was down there. Deep ball threat. I don't trust the Saints quarterback, so it was just a total stab in the dark, really.
Yep. A little dark
I don't know how far any of those guys quarterbacks can throw.
Yeah, nobody's believing in Spencer Rattler. It's looking like they're going to win maybe 3 games this year. They're going to be competing with my Giants for that number 1 pick. So
I don't think so. I think your Giants going to be like 500.
I think they're going to be.
That division. We can't have division.
Yeah, hold on. Eagles twice.
Yeah.
Cowboys twice.
People are saying
Washington twice.
Giants are going to beat the Cowboys week 2.
Listen. I'm a Cowboy hater, and I do think this Micah Parsons thing and this just the constant drama. Yeah, they're going to get their head smashed in on week 1. That's a lock, right? Do we all agree on that? They're getting their faces smashed in and rubbed in the dirt in week 1. And then that dysfunction, I could see that, is going to bleed into week 2, where a scrappy and, angry and kind of want to prove something Giants, puts it on them. I could see that.
And then Jerry Jones isn't getting there. They're already talking about Mike Forrest. I guess Packers offered a trade for him already.
I did hear something about that as well, but he's not.
They didn't say they rejected. They said Jerry Jones wasn't willing to listen.
Yeah, I don't know what game he's playing over there, but I mean, he's the puppet master and he's got the money. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they're more likely to do a drawn out, bullshit thing where he sits on the sideline for 4 weeks and then they pay him like before the start of week 3.
He's upset with the Cowboys fan base in general. How last year on his podcast he was getting a lot of hate from Cowboys fans.
Who, Parsons?
Yeah, I feel like he's just fed up with the Cowboys in general. I think, but money talks. Give him the money.
Yeah, a $40 million check will clear all that shit out.
Exactly.
Stop it. So let me ask you this. I asked the same question to Moses when I spoke to him earlier. Is there a team in here that you think shit the bed during their draft, or is there a team that you think that really nailed their draft? And then we can close.
Like, even though they had the 1 pick, because they were next to me and they kept still taking my players. The guy who had the 1 pick had a good draft.
Manny the Great. He went with Bijan Robinson, Marvin Harrison, Garrett Wilson, Travis Etienne, Scary Terry, Justin Herbert, Mark Andrews, and Brandon Ayuk. And
he took Ayuk from me. I was really hoping that he lived 2 picks before me, and Ayuk took him. I was like, damn.
Well, it's hard for your draft board to look bad when you have Bijan Robinson. He was my number 1 on pretty much in all formats. I think Bijan was my number 1. So, that's beautiful. Marvin Harrison, I mean, I think he's great, obviously, but I just do not trust this little hedgehog short month. I don't trust Kyler Williams at all. Hate him.
You don't?
Like, I do not trust him. So,
Absolutely. You wait on quarterbacks are all the same, but I feel like with the scoring difference, that a top quarterback is way more valuable than having the waiting on a quarterback in this kind of league.
For sure. So you definitely called that right. We do have some bonuses for like passes over 40 yards and stuff like that. That makes Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. That makes the Jalen Hurts pick even more stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Because Jaden Daniels had a long deep pass, like. Obviously, a lot of luck was into that too, but a lot of Hail Mary passes that were completed last year.
Right. If this guy did his homework, he could have took Joe Burrow. Even Joe Burrow would have been a better pick, a better reach.
Chase is definitely going to have some long... And one was, just 40-yard completion? Doesn't even have to be a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
So, they definitely have some long completions. So,
yeah. So I don't know. Oh, well. He'll learn. Maybe he has a plan in the rookie draft. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, or maybe he's like, I've seen drafts this year because they're excited for next year's NFL crop. So it could be something like that. Question for you, actually.
Go for it.
The IDP. I haven't played in the league in years with the IDP. What's your opinions on it?
Okay, IDP. Pick the best defensive player that you can. I like to go. I just pick Myles Garrett and close the door. Like, what else is there to talk about? You know what I mean? Because you get a point for tackles. So
yeah, I was looking at the points compared to like backup. Like, I was like, oh, they don't really score that many points. So I was like, it's not worth having a backup IDP player.
No, not really. There's going to be so many IDP players on waivers that if something happens or you just want to switch it up, like, you will never not be able to find an IDP player. Nobody is stacking, in my experience, in the because the scoring is the same in our year 3 league. Nobody has ever stacked IDP players.
Okay. Yeah, because I got Fred Warner.
Yeah, what I do is, if I'm really in a tight matchup and I really want to get the W, I might stack a guy and I'll play the matchup. Like, I know Myles Garrett is gonna fucking go crazy on this O-line, stuff like that. I'll play the matchup, but my philosophy is just pick a guy who you think could be defensive player of the year. That's what I do.
Like, linebackers are the one that kind of gets like consistent points, but the D linemen have to get the sacks to be able to be worth value that week, right?
Yes. you know. And then this actually brings up an interesting question about Travis Hunter. I actually had one of our league mates text me last night, concerned about the scoring value of Travis Hunter, because Sleeper lists him as both a wide receiver and I think a corner, or a defensive player.
DB.
Yeah, a DB. So he has the potential to score like what? A lot of points depending on your scoring system.
All the tackles he gets.
This guy could be broke. He could break IDP. He could break the IDP position, You
could put him in on the IDP position. That's where I think it's broke. That's true. Because now you got a player on IDP that'd be scoring 20 points a game.
Right.
Most of these guys are getting 8 or 9, 10.
So it's like having an extra wide receiver spot, if I understand it correctly.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That's crazy. And the Jaguars sounds like they're using it mostly at receiver.
So this is what I said to that person who brought it up. I said, I like the chaos that it invites to the league. I think it adds excitement and it's fun.
Exactly.
Right? That's what I said. Number one. It's just fun to think about the possibilities. Number two, I think that the player that drafts him is incurring a lot of risk because of how active this kid is going to be on both sides of the ball. So it kind of balances out, because you're going to have defensive backs trying to take his head off, and you're going to have other wide receivers trying to show him up. Like, this kid could get hurt in 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Like,
And he's got to learn both side playbooks. We'll see if he can develop on both sides.
Yeah, so
a lot of people said that he was a okay receiver and a really good defensive back.
I've heard the other way. I've heard he's a great wide receiver and, a pretty good defensive back.
I heard that during the combine, but then the Jaguars are doing what you're saying, is they're going to do full-time receiver and have packages for his defense abilities.
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch, and as of now, I don't have any plans to change anything. Now, if during the course of the season it becomes obvious that this shit is broken,
yeah,
we'll look into it. But I'm just going to keep it the way it is, and then let y'all deal with it, because I'm not drafting him. I already told Moses I'm taking Genty with the rookie 101 anyway. So, so. I'm just going to go ahead and play it safe with that. And, have fun, guys. I don't know.
I just one league, it fell apart, but he used to do like a power rankings.
Yeah.
It was only his own opinion, so it was
I actually did a power ranking in the other league, in the year 3 league. And, I was planning on doing one for this league, but we just drafted, so there was no power ranking. So thank you for reminding me. I will probably do a weekly power ranking just to fuck with people. And like I'm just gonna put like a good team, and I'm be like, oh nah, bro, you're number 3, bro. You fucking suck, and your matchups are fucking bullshit, bro. Like I promise you, dude, I'm just gonna be here fucking with people, and then trying to have people call me and be like, bro, you gotta change that shit. I'm like, I don't know, man. Call in the show and see. I don't know, bro. I'll see what I can do. I'm just gonna be on pure bullshit, bro. I promise you.
Like a